Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Hollywood Memories. I'm Dan Roberts, the publisher of The Vegas Voice, and I have the great pleasure of sitting with and co-hosting it with my favorite columnist, the other woman in my life, and that is Miss Beverly Washburn.
Thank you, Dan. Hi, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.
In case you did not know, Beverly is more than just an actress because I'm going over her career. You did radio.
I'm old, yeah.
Well, no, but you did radio, you did TV, you've done movies, you've done streaming. You're a nationally syndicated columnist with Hollywood Memories. You've been with us for close to 15 years, which is something. And and you're also an author that we have. You also have a movie documentary about you called Here's Looking at You, Kids.
Along with Sharon Baird and Mimi Gibson.
But nobody knew until now that you had a singing career.
Well, it was short-lived.
Well, that's what we're going to discuss. We looked up and we found out that you did records for Smash Recording and producers. Tell us, how did that even happen?
Well, it's very strange because I'm not a singer. Anyway, I was doing the new Loretta Young show. I was 19 at the time, and my agent was William Morris. And they called me and said, "We've got a recording contract for you." And I said, "Oh, really?" And they said, "Yeah, you'll be singing four sides." So I said, "Well, there's just one problem." And he said, "What's the problem?" And I said, "I don't sing."
Yeah.
And he said, "Well, can you carry a tune?" And I said, "Oh, yeah, I can carry a tune." And so he said, "Well, then no problem." So before I knew it, I was in the recording studio. And in fact, I guess a lot of people that watch our little segment, thank you for doing that.
Yep.
It starts out with Everybody Loves
Saturday
and
Night.
people probably wonder, where did that song come from? And
That's one of the great hits that you've had. But here's the interesting thing. When you went in, you said earlier that when you were so little, you were so young, that there was nothing to be nervous about. You were just having fun. Mm-hmm. Okay, but now you're an adult, you're 19, 20 years old, mm-hmm. and you say that you're not a singer, and yet you walk into this recording studio and there's an orchestra there.
I know, it was so much fun. Yeah, a full orchestra. They had violins, backup singers. It was back in the days of, what they call bubblegum music, with all the echo chambers and all that. Thank goodness for those. And sitting there, and I didn't even know it at the time, was Glenn Campbell.
Glenn Campbell played the guitar.
He played the guitar on the cut. And Leon Russell, who was quite well known, he was the piano player, and Bob Seger wrote it. And so I was really fortunate, but I didn't even know all that at the time I did it. I found that out later because they introduced me, of course, to everybody, but they didn't say their full name. It was like, this is Bob, this is Tom, this is Jerry, just names. So I didn't know it was Glenn Campbell because he wasn't
Glenn Campbell yet.
Right.
And you weren't intimidated at all, even though they told you to start singing.
Well, I just thought, I hope this goes well. But thank goodness for echo chambers and background singers and all that. It was okay. It actually made the charts.
Go ahead. How high?
40 on Billboard.
Out of?
20.
There you go.
Out of 100.
Was it fun? Were you intimidated by it? Was it just enjoyable?
It was enjoyable. It was just really fun. And to think that there I was in this, full-blown recording studio with all these musicians, I just felt so fortunate. It was just really a great day for me. Really fun.
You were 19, 20 years old, mm-hmm. right? Give or take. Anybody hit on you? Did Glenn Campbell hit on you?
Nobody hit on me.
Nobody hit on
you?
No. So when you made these records, did you think of yourself as saying, I'm going to have another career as an actress plus, or was this just a one and done?
No, I mean, as I said, I'm not a singer. It was fun to do, and luckily, it came out and made the charts, and it was wonderful. But I never anticipated being, having a singing career.
And they never called you back either, though, huh? Yeah. And when you did all this, you had Everybody Loves Saturday Night, which is the opening for Hollywood Memories, and the other song was?
Well, the flip side was The Heart You Break May Be Your Own. And that's also you can find on the internet.
Yeah, no,
Everything's
both
on the
songs.
internet.
Well, both songs you can get on YouTube if you look it up, because that's how we found it. But then there were two other songs. Can you recall their names?
Yeah, How Can I, no.
How Can I
Say Goodbye?
Right.
And the heck was the other one?
If There Were.
Oh, yeah, If There Were No Boys.
And those two songs were never released.
No, they didn't even escape.
They didn't escape, and at least. And I'm of the theory that Beverly is like the painter Van Gogh. They're going to wait till she dies before they release it, which is worth a lot more money.
Well, I don't know about that, but
But you found the whole thing very enjoyable.
it was wonderful. It was a really fun time.
Yeah, but again, I'm looking at the contract. It was in August of 1963.
Wow.
That just shows you. And after the recording, as far as you knew, that was the end of the career.
Yeah.
But yet, lo and behold, as we did some research, you're on 2 albums.
I know, and I have no idea how this happened. And can you read the people that are on there? Like real singers.
You were on, hope you can see it. It was Growing Up Too Fast, a girl group anthology. Mm-hmm. And also, because she's very famous, she has 2 of them, the Hollywood Princesses. And these are 2 CDs that have you, and you have real people on. I mean, once again, you have Connie Francis, you had Dusty Springfield, you had the Shangri-Las. I mean, you really had everybody on it.
I know. Now, this one I knew about because
Hollywood Princess.
They contacted me and asked me, and I was thrilled to be part of this because some of the other girls you can see on there, like Patty McCormick, who was also not a singer like me, but she recorded something, and she was the little girl in the bad seat, and she's darling. She's a friend of mine. And Noreen Corcoran, who was on Bachelor Father, and so they put this together, and I did get them. They asked my permission, and I was honored. It was Alan Eichler who put it on. But the other one, I had no idea.
Well, the other one, Growing Up Too Fast.
Yeah.
Again, the same type of artist, Dusty Springfield's Connie Francis was.
I know.
And what I can't get over is between all these CDs and albums, the royalties were how much?
Would you believe 0?
They didn't pay extra for it, huh?
No, and this one somebody just stumbled upon. They never contacted me to say, we'd like to put you on our CD, or would you like to be on? Of course, I'm honored that they wanted me, but they never. I didn't even know about it until somebody found it at a record shop. So that was interesting. But I thought, well, that's pretty cool to be included with Connie Francis and Dusty Springfield and people like that.
And between this, and again, we mentioned it earlier, from your Spider Baby, the Coasters, the shower curtain that we're going to show, the royalty, in that case, it wasn't royalties, it was a royalty, was about how much money?
Again, 0.
Again, 0. So when I looked you up on the internet and Google says you're worth $5.8 million, that's a little bit of an exaggeration, unfortunately.
Just a tad.
Yeah?
Yeah, they should have moved the decimal over a few.
So you put all this together, and I mean, you've had a remarkable, and you still have a remarkable career in everything else. And if we can find this stuff about you now, God knows what else we can dig up and we see what happens. And yet you have one of your fans, Rob, I'm going to show him up now, and he's able to track all this down.
I know, it's amazing how he comes up with these things. I guess if you keep digging far enough, things turn up on the internet. I don't know how, but they do. It's quite remarkable.
It is something. Again, I thank you for putting up with me. I really do.
Always fun.
I thank everybody. And again, the beginning of every Hollywood Memory segment is everybody loves Saturday night.
But me.
But you, because of all the residuals and royalties you get out of that, for goodness sakes. So this is Dan Robertson, Beverly Washburn, saying we'll see you again next time.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks, Dan.